There we go. I was all messed up. Give me a second. I gotta fix this. Oh, let's see here. I accidentally hit done instead of go live. So do this over here. What I can do it here. Let's see here. Oh, there we go.
Ali.
I need to turn that down. All right. Sorry, I was trying to. Hey, how's it going, Stephen? I was trying to. I set it all up. Oh, that's backwards. Is it backwards on you? I was trying to set it all up, and then instead of hitting go live, I hit done. So it didn't go live. It just finished the so I had to upload everything again and put all the messages in and everything. But cool. Oh, okay. I can see it here on the side. We're good. Today I'm streaming with. I just got this in the mail today, so I was trying to set it up. It's Logitech C922. It was $60. It's 1080 30p. But anyway, I just got it today, so I was trying to mess around with it. The ordered off eBay, $60, and it was supposed to be delivered like a week ago, and 3 days ago it said it was delivered, and I thought I was going to have to open a case with the post office or whatever. I went down there and they said, well, just file a claim, even though it said it's delivered. But yeah, I waited 3 days and it showed up in my mailbox. So anyway, so yeah, so it's got the Logitech actually has some pretty cool features in here. You could download the software if you want. And you could see where I've got the Pentax Live. I've just been messing around with the software, and you can remove the text and it fades out. So it's kind of cool. I like it so far. Just playing around with it for a couple hours, and I've got the webcam or whatever. I can't put it on top of my screen because I have a huge monitor, so I don't like the two monitors set up. I'd rather just have one big monitor. So that's what I'm dealing with now. But it does have some cool features. Let me show you. I could do this, do some weird stuff with the software. Yeah, I've got to figure all this out. And then it has yeah, anyway, so I'm going to mess around with that, and hopefully these streams will be a little bit better. But I could switch, and I could actually show some maybe some Lightroom stuff or some photos that I've taken, and see how that goes. All right, so I actually bought a little light too. See, there's it off, and there's it on. Looks a lot better with it on. I do have some umbrellas back that way, but I just wanted one of those ring lights. You might have seen them. I just bought it at like Ross for like $20. So works pretty good. Anyway, beer. Today's beer is Moosehead. Like a little like that. All right. So anyway, today we were going to talk about a couple different things. Let's see if I could open this thing. There we go. If you're watching this late, or the next day. Sometimes the chats don't show up for a little bit, so might want to give it 12 hours, and then the actual chats, you can actually see them on the side. So let's get started. All right, so I wrote down a few things here. I went camping. I don't know if you saw that video, but I went camping and did the like what to pack at the last minute. This is something I did not pack, and I usually do, but I was just like, I don't need that. I never use it, and I ended up needing it. This is a rocket blower. If you don't have one of these, you need to buy one, because I was up, got up before sunrise and went up to Clingman's Dome and Smoky Mountains, and was taking some shots with the K3. And grab it here. It's with this 35 millimeter macro that I just got, and all of a sudden there was like a big, huge dust speck on the sensor. And I think Kobe cursed me, because like I saw one of his posts like like a couple of days earlier that said, "Man, this sensor is just getting dust all over it." So anyway, if you've never used one of these, it fixes the problem most of the time, so you don't have to clean the actual sensor. But all you do is you turn on your camera, and whatever model you have, it doesn't even have to be Pentax. There's one, let me find the setting in here. Where is it? It's a mirror lockup, so you could actually blow it out with the, yeah. Yeah, I tried the dust removal when I was up there, but you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Sensor cleaning. And then execute, and then it pops up, and your sensor's open. So you could take this thing, it's clean right now, and I always squeeze it out first, just in case there is dust actually in there. And then when you're done, hold it down like this, so the dust will fall out. And then when you're done, turn it off, and then take a test shot. So I just did that, and it was fine once I got home. But all those pictures that I took with this, luckily I had my K1 Mark II with me, so I could take some extra shots. It was one of those, it was such a big dust spot that it was really affecting my images. I couldn't just put it in Lightroom, and I could clone it out, but it was big enough that it was on like a tree or something like that, where it wasn't like a clear clone. I couldn't clone it out. So yeah, this is a must, especially if you're at a beach, and make sure you get a good one. I don't even know what brand this is, but one that looks like this, because they blow a lot of air, and blow it out before you try to blow on your sensor. So, and just in case dust is inside this ball, you don't want to be blowing stuff on your sensor. So what else we got? Oh, so this 35 millimeter, I'm working on doing a video. I've got the whole video shot. I just hadn't edited it and released it yet, but really good lens. But I was going to tell you a few things that I didn't tell in my video pertaining to the K3 Mark III, actually, because I've talked about this before, but the little touch focus when you're in live view here, you know, you can just touch and it will take a shot if it actually focuses. But that is an excellent feature. It's almost like catch and focus but you're using it, you know, with autofocus. If you've used the catch and focus before, it's a great feature. If you have like a manual lens and you're having a hard time getting that focus, you use that. Hold down, I think you hold down the shutter button, and then you just turn the manual focus, and when it's actually in focus, it will take the picture. But it's kind of similar with the autofocus with this touch screen. So you're totally out of focus, then you just touch it, and you touch the point that you want, and it will take a picture. It actually worked really well with this macro lens. So it doesn't work as well as like putting it in manual focus on a tripod and punching in and nailing down that focus. But if you're just lazily going around shooting, you could just, you know, boom, boom, and it will catch in focus basically. is what it's doing. So it worked fairly well. I was pretty happy with it, doing it that way. Let's see here. Another thing I was going to talk about is the get back on that. Is since I switched over from the K3 Mark III to the K1, I was like switching back and forth since there was a little dust on the sensor of the K3. I have shots comparing the two. Pretty soon I'm going to be able to show them on the screen. I don't have that capability right now, but like I said, I just got this software. So next week I'll really nail it down and figure out how to do that stuff. But the ISO performance, because it was low light, the sun was just coming up. And I did test before with the K3 against the K1, and the K1 obviously won, but in this actual situation, there was the tails, the scales were tipped like so far in favor of the K1. It was ridiculous. And these weren't very like high ISOs. What they were was like 3200, 6400, which I shoot with the K3 all the time with that. But the thing is I was underexposing it because the highlights of the sun coming up, and it really brought out all the grain from the ISO in there. So I was happy I had my K3 with me. I got a couple of really good shots with it, with the dust on the sensor, and then the K3 underexposing it didn't really hold up as well as I thought it would. So we'll have to do some more like that, underexposing and seeing just how much grain's in the shot. Of course, when I brought them home, I'm looking at them on a 4K monitor, but there was obviously some grain in there. Let's see here. So I've started putting links below in my videos. I hadn't done that before, social media and all that stuff. So if you want to check those out, check those out. Other Pentax news, of course, Pentax news, there hadn't been a lot going on, but they did release the GR 111X. Never used a GR. If you have, let me know what you think about it, because it's never really, just because it's pricey, it's kind of like a point and shoot. Well, it's like a bridge point and shoot, and you can't change out the lenses. So I can't remember the price of it. It's probably around $1,000 or something like that. But I've never. They have several of those out. I'm meaning to buy one used and just give it a shot. But this over the previous model, the GR, I think it's the GR 111-3, whatever it is. It actually has a different type of lens on there. So instead of a 28 equivalent, which was the previous model, it actually has a 44 millimeter equivalent to full frame. So it's a little bit more tighter in. I don't know if that, if you use that camera, if that would, I think I would, I don't know. I'd kind of like my favorite full frame focal length is actually 35. So it's like they're in between. They're at 28 and 40. So that's interesting. But it's 24 megapixels, and it's got the new processing GR Engine 6 on it. So we'll see. Somebody will come out there and have a review on it. I won't have a review on it, but it will come out, I'm sure. Let's see what else. Also, I've been testing out this 35 millimeter macro limited, and when I do my walks in the morning, I just usually bring just one lens, and it's crazy because I've been seeing all sorts of like awesome birds, and I'm like, why didn't I bring my 55 to 300 PLM? So I'm going to start bringing it. Where is it? Oh, it's behind me. I showed this before. I don't know if you saw it. It's probably a year or so ago. So this little bag is actually a camera bag for like an old Pentax film, like point and shoot camera. So the PLM fits in there great. So I'm going to start just carrying it whatever. So today there was some kingfishers around, and the day before there were some kingfishers around, and then last week, that's why I like photography so much, because the lady was walking by me. She saw I had a camera, and she said, "Hey, there's a huge bird over there. I don't know what it is." And there's vultures all over where I walk, and I was like, okay. So I had my 16 to 50 PLM on, and I was like, okay, I can't get a shot of this, whatever it is. So we walked up, and this big, huge bird, I didn't get a good shot of it, but I didn't know what it was really. Honestly, I was like, that is a lot bigger than vulture. It flew like right overhead, and I took a shot. I got 3 shots off. I didn't have it in burst. And I went home and investigated. I did Google Lens to try to identify it, and it kind of said it was a golden eagle. So I did some more investigation. I put it on one of my Facebook Tennessee photography groups, and everybody was like, some people were like, "Oh, it's a golden eagle," and then other people were like, "No, it's a juvenile bald eagle." So that made me do more research. So I pulled up, and it's one of those birds that's commonly mistaken for each other. And it turns out it was a juvenile bald eagle, but it was huge. I've seen lately here in Tennessee, we hadn't had a lot of bald eagles, but they've started to come back in the area. So I've seen a lot of pictures from other photographers that have gotten some excellent shots of bald eagles, but in this area, there's not a ton, but they're starting to come back. I saw one last week, and it wasn't a juvenile, but this other bird was like a lot bit. The juvenile was bigger than that, so that maybe that was a female and this was a male. I'm not sure, but it's nice to see some bald eagles around, and just getting to know how to identify different birds and whatnot. It's kind of makes it fun as well. So I'll be able to identify it hopefully next time. If a lot of people mistake osprey for bald eagles as well. I've seen people do that many of times. So yeah, so I will be. But it's one of those things, though. I'm carrying this around, but if I have the 35 millimeter on there, it's like I have to switch it out real quick if I see something. So I've heard by many photographers the kingfisher is one of the hardest birds to get photos of, just because they don't like humans, and they're always flying away as soon as they see them. But I got a picture in early spring. It didn't really turn out too well, so maybe that will be on my bucket list. What's on your bucket list? What sort of animals, if you're doing wildlife photography, is on your bucket list to get a shot of? One of mine is a bobcat. Never done that. A few years ago, it was a red fox, but the red fox, I've gotten several pictures of red foxes now because they're all around in my neighborhood, and hadn't gotten one that I consider portfolio worthy, but I've gotten a few shots of them. I was pretty happy about that. Another animal that, in my area at least, that I want to get a shot of is, I like taking pictures of snakes, and we only have 2 poisonous snakes in this area. One is a copperhead, and I've gotten several shots of copperhead, but there's also a timber rattler, which I hadn't got a shot of, but I've seen some shots of them. They're really cool. I'd just, of course, I'd be careful if I found one. But the thing with snakes is they like hide, and I'm out, I go fishing. I'm out there fishing. I got my camera with me, and it never fails. I'm not really scared of them, but you walk up on them, and they take off, and it makes you jump like that. So, yeah, those are the 2 ones I want to get in the area. Bobcat, I've never seen one, and a timber rattler. Also, there's boar around too, but I've never seen one. So yeah, what's some of your bucket list shots that you want to get of different animals, a snow leopard or something. Okay, what else we got here? The 21 millimeter limited. Guess when it's coming out? I have no idea. No, nobody's. I hadn't seen anything. When was that video out that they kind of teased it? I need to look that up. I want to say it's a year and a half ago. Maybe it's just a year, but it's been a long time. So, no new thing on that. Let's see here. You have any questions for me about this 20 or 35 limited? Have you ever used it? What do you think of it? Like I said, I've got a video that I'm going to release tomorrow. It's going to have image samples and my thoughts on it. I'm not going to go in too much of it here, but if you have a question, I'll definitely answer you. Let's see here. Ooh. Okay, I guess I could talk about this. Oh, you know what I was going to do? Yeah. Oh, I'm talking about this 35 millimeter. The links. Hold on a second. Let me get this. Would love to photograph the links. Yeah, you need to have some sort of trap or something. All right, so I didn't do this in my video, so we're going to try it now. The 35 DA limited, so it's not optimized for full frame. We're going to try it on the K1 and see what the results are. See if there's vignetting on the sides. All right, I'll just take a picture of my microphone here. Yep, no camera and card. But I didn't see vignetting. We'll take another look. Let me put a camera or card in here. I think it might be usable. Let me pull it back up here so I could share it with you. You see that? It's hard to see, but I don't see vignetting on the side there in the corners. It might be, if I went outside, I might be able to see some, but that is very promising. I might have to do a separate video just with this. It might be a case that you might have to slightly crop in, not like the crop mode on here. But that's cool. I'm definitely going to take this out tomorrow or in the coming days and give it a shot. Stephen R., have you noticed any zoom creep on the PLM zooms? No, not at all. It does have that lock in there, though. It locks in on the 55-300. It locks in, and then you have to press that button to undo it. But did that go down now? No. Yeah, it's not creeping. And then I've got the. Let me grab the 16 to 50, and I'll be right back. It's over here somewhere. Here it is. I mean, it's like that, you know. So we'll put it at 16. No creep. Yeah, that shot was out of focus, but it didn't have the black on the sides or whatever. The vignetting. That's what I meant to say. I'm getting too many cameras right here in front of me. All right. All right. What else? You got any questions for me? Probably wrap it up here in about 10 minutes. Or anything you want me to. I did have the like I said, in future episodes, I should be able to do this. I'm learning this software. I kind of showed this earlier, but well, not that. But I'll be able to do some like this shot right here. If you can see that, the main shot, I'll be able to put some. Oh, I can show you real quick. Let me make sure this is. Hold on a second. So I can make it. Where was it? Sorry. I could put like I could put like Lightroom over there or something and do some shots. If I had a source file, which I do not. Anyway, so it would be easy to do that. I got to switch them out though. It would be the opposite. So let me see. Hold on. It would be like this. No, or see, I'm still learning this. Like this. There we go. Be like that. And like I said, I'm just learning this software, so it should be good once I get it going, and then maybe I could have some people submit some photos, or I could just show you some image samples of what I got going on. So go back here. There we go. So I'm looking forward to that. I should get it going next week. I just got the webcam and explored the software not an hour before this. Did you see you need to purchase a battery grip for the K3 Mark III? No, I don't like battery grips. I have my K1 Mark II, and the battery grip is still in the box. I've never used it. So if anybody wants to buy a battery grip for that, is it the same one? No, I think it's different with the K3 Mark versus the K1. I think it's a different model number. I'm not positive on that. I'd have to look into it. But if anybody wants to buy my limited K1 Mark III grip, not the camera, but let me know. And on Facebook, I put links below. So I think the first link on there is my photography Facebook page. So just leave me a message there if you're interested in buying that. And you're in the US. I don't like shipping stuff out unless I ship from eBay. The battery life on the K3 Mark III it's the same battery as the K1. So if you have the K1, you know that the battery lasts a long time. So I'm very happy with that. And that's the other awesome thing about having these two cameras instead of like put the lens back on here. Speaking of getting dust all on the sensors. So these two cameras use the same battery. And unlike when I had like the K70, I'd have a different battery than the K1. So I'd have to bring two different batteries, two different chargers if I went on vacation or whatever. It's nice having just bring one charger and 3 or 4 batteries, and you'll be fine for your whole trip. So that is one thing that I really like, and I'm happy that they kept the same battery with the K3 Mark III that they've had for so many years, since it is such a good battery. I mean, it's a little big, but long battery life. Let's see. I use a lot of circular polarizer shots using the Canon 5D Mark II, but now using a K1, I simply cannot get a good image. I've got some good images, but I've struggled with it a little bit. It depends on what lens you're using and what the scene is like and whatnot. What I like to do is I'll put it in live view and mess around with it and see what in live view when I'm moving the polarizer around what it's going to look like. That's helped me out. and it's a whole different world when you start stacking like a neutral density filter and a circular polarizer. Yeah, that takes some time to get used to, and eventually you get used to it. But I like using the the Koken filters. Those are really good. If you want to, I should have brought them when I did my shots up at the Smokies when the sunrise, but that's why I underexposed the shot, because just the sky was so bright. So I underexposed it, and like I was saying earlier, the ISO really took a hit for that, especially on the K3 Mark III. Why is Pentax not so popular as other brands? Because they don't market it, and it's not available in department stores or very many camera stores. So they're not marketing the camera out there. So that's why it suffered. Hopefully, eventually, it will get turned around and it will be popular again. So, yeah. Colors and exposure are always off with the 28 to 105, f3.5 to f5.6 with your circular polarizer. Huh. Okay, that's the one lens I hadn't, or yeah, a couple lenses I hadn't tried, but that's one that I hadn't tried. Yeah, give that live view a try, so that kind of helps you out, because it's different than looking through the viewfinder. All right, let's see. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Let me grab some. All right, here's something I might do, not in this video, but in an upcoming video. And if you have these, or they're fun to look through, it's just these old accessory brochures from Pentax. It's got like all the different lenses. You'll go through here and you'll be like, whoa, I've never heard of that lens. And you'll look it up, and it's like one of those rare lenses that's, somebody's trying to sell for $2,000. But if you have one of these and haven't looked at it in a while, take it out again and look at it and say, oh man, I need that lens. I need this lens right here, the 600 f4. I need to Google that and see how much that is. That one right there. Crazy. I even have one for Sigma, so it would have some of the older Sigma lenses that would work on Pentax as well. So I might go through those next time, a couple of them, and it'd be fun to reminisce. All right, any last questions? We'll give it another couple minutes, and then we'll call it the night. Anybody have the K3 Mark III and had feel like Kobe said, that there's just a magnet on the sensor for dust? Let's see here. If you zoom the 60 to 50 PLM to 35, what is the sharpest? Oh, is it as sharp as the 35 millimeter? I haven't tried that. I'll try it, but I would say the macro, if you really pixel peeped, the macro would probably be sharper, because macro lenses are just sharp. I would say the colors on this would be a little bit better on the 16 to 50, but they're both would be super sharp. I could try that out for you. And like I said, I'm working on getting those shots so I could share the shots, and maybe I could do that in another episode of one of these lives. Cool. Bought the K3 Mark III. Awesome. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Well, thank you, B Long. Thanks for that. All right, I'm gonna call it the night. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you're watching this later and you have questions or comments, just leave them below, and I'll try to, get back to them on the next live next Thursday at 6 p.m. I'm gonna try to work out this camera at a better angle. All right. Everybody have a good night.